I think I'm live. If you guys can hear me or if you guys can see me, let me know in the chat so that I can confirm that you guys can hear me. I think, yeah, I can see it, but yeah, I just wanted you guys to say whether you're able to hear me or not. Can you guys ping me in the chat? I already see Raju. Hi, good day. Hi, Raju. Good day. Hi, Ahmed. Hi, Nathan. Meanwhile, if you guys can hear me, let me check. I think I can hear. Yeah, I think I can hear myself. But yeah, let me know if you're able to. Okay. Supun says we can see and sound is good. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Supun. Arun says hi, Arun. Hi, Venu. Hi, Surya. Yeah. So welcome to the stream. So Abhi Reddy says I can hear you well. Yeah, thank you, Abhi. Yes. Meanwhile, I think everything is set, right? Meanwhile, I'll just open my Trello dashboard so that I can show you what all I have pending. Cool. Yes, Arun says again. Yes, I can hear. Okay. Hi, Arun. Hi, Gaurav. Hi, Surya again. So, hi, Raghava. Good evening, all. Good night. It's like 9:30 for me. I think all of you are from India, right? Good night, guys. Hi, Naga. So, I hope you guys had your dinner, or I don't know. I didn't have my dinner yet. I'll have it sometime after the stream is over. Hi, Suraj. Hi, Drumil. Hey Suraj, yeah, good to know that you're from Nepal. Great. So meanwhile, yeah, you guys can frame some questions, whatever you would like to ask me. I think you guys would have been following my channel recently, right? Or maybe I don't know how long, but you can frame some questions. I got some questions when I posted the message saying that do you guys need any live. So I see that 84% of you said we need a live, so that is why I'm making the live. And there are three questions, so let's go from the first. Nagarjuna says hi, please do a video on JRebel. So yeah, sure, Nagarjuna, I'll add that to my list. If you guys know, this is my backlog. I'll share this link, right? You guys can also take a look at it and let me know if you need any specific one. So based on this particular backlog, I make videos. Mm, So this is just for my tracking purpose, right? So that I don't miss stuff which you guys mentioned. So I've added JRebel. Meanwhile, what is the next? Suman Chandra says rest is stateless protocol, but if we want to maintain state, then what all possible way to do it? Could you make one video for that? Sure, definitely I can make. It's like a design stuff, right? So I can make it as a part of tech shots or something. Can you make a video on RX observable and subscribe? Sure, Rahul. There are few videos which I made on RX Java. If you have seen the reactive Spring and our reactive programming videos series, you can check out that. But yeah, I wanted to do more of reactive programming. I'm not doing reactive programming as such, so I that's why I did not make much videos on that. But yeah, I tried some and then I made few, but I don't have like a working experience on reactive programming, right? But I wanted to do that, and I think pretty much soon I will start doing it. So who and all I missed? Hi Murli. Hi freestyler. Microservices more videos. Sure. There are lots of microservices videos. If you see the Spring microservices playlist, if you go to the playlist section and there is a Spring microservices, I think there are almost 50 videos in that. You guys can take a look at that as well. So if I go here, micrometer, I think I'll let to scroll. But yeah, there are lots of videos on microservices. But yeah, I'll definitely make more because yeah, there are too many concepts in microservices. Garo says evening has just started. Thanks for this. Yeah, hey Garo. I'm a big fan of your content. Please keep doing it. Yeah, sure. I'll be ready. Definitely, I'll do that. Safe says hi, bro. Hi, Safe. Hi, Arun Shankar from Chennai. Good to know. I'm also from Chennai, but I live in Bangalore. Kalyan says hi. Hi, Kalyan. Nagesh Kumar says REST web services design principles. Sure, there is one REST basics which I did, but I don't know if that is enough. Maybe you can take a look at that. But uh, why I don't make many videos is there are lots of content already in YouTube. I don't want to repeat them again, so that is the reason I don't make the same thing again. So Suraj asks, I'm working as a Java developer and I have no clue how to implement design patterns. I know about it theoretically, but to implement it's really a pain in the ass. Could you please give some tips? Yeah, definitely it is difficult, because what will happen is you might be what do you call, inspired to, you would have seen lots of design pattern videos and you would have got to know the ideology behind it, but when you try to implement it, then you realize that there are two three design patterns which might fit into that use case, right? So the best way is to try and do it. First try implementing one design pattern, see whether new changes, or when you try to refactor, whether they make sense. If at all not, then try to refactor again. So you cannot write good code right from the start. You will have to write refactor. That's what I believe in, right? So yeah, that's what I would suggest if you ask me. Rakesh says Kubernetes videos, please. Hey Rakesh, so I have not worked on Kubernetes. Frankly, I learned Kubernetes from other channels or other platforms. That is how I learned Kubernetes, and I know about Kubernetes, but I have not started working on it. But yeah, definitely I will do it when I have more comfortableness with Kubernetes, right? I don't want to just like that make a new concept and then make a video just for the sake of getting views or something, right? So I don't make like that. So if I know, then I make it, or else like I try and wait for some time until I know about it. So let's see. So Shaik says, hi Shaik. Amok says, just want to say you're awesome. Thank you very much, Amok. Good to know. Gaurav says, my question is about design and architecture. Would love to hear for monolithic enterprise systems which built earlier using GeoF, J2EE design patterns. How approach is changed in the cloud era. See the gang of four design pattern, J2EE design patterns. Some of them stay there in the cloud, but when you go for microservices, you should be very careful. You can still move monolithic applications into cloud, but I would say if you read lots of videos about monolithic applications and microservices and cloud, don't do microservices just for the sake of the new terms, right? Because I also have designed microservices and I know that microservices are easy to manage, but because when you go more into splitting services, then managing becomes a pain, because now you will have to manage that many number of services rather than one. So you will have to make sure you have all the automation in place if you are going to microservices, but don't do it just for the sake of it. You need to understand all the microservices principles, because once you split, then you realize that okay, it's not going to work, and then you will have to end up again merging it. So I would say see lots of videos on not only my channel, right? I would never say that see only my channel. Go to other different channels, different platforms like Udemy, Pluralsight. Lots of free videos are also there. You can take a look at that as well. And yeah, you'll have to try it out to in order to see whether it is a success or failure, right? So yeah, you'll have to try it out. Shaikh Hussain says need OAuth 2 principles classes. OAuth 2, the problem is I have not worked on OAuth 2. Tried implementing OAuth 2 on some one of the proof of concept which I was trying to do. That's when I learned Spring Security, and then I saw that there are no Spring Security videos in YouTube, right? So that is when I started with Spring Security, and then later on people suggested me to do OAuth 2, then JWT and stuff like that. I did a couple of videos, but yeah, we'll see, because it's a very complex topic and you need lots of time in order to learn and then practice and then do it, right? And I'm not a freelancer or anything, so I have my full-time job, so I just do this for hobby. So I'll definitely do it. It's there in my list, I believe, in the backlog, right? Over two stuffs are there. Aman Verma says, keep going, good going, keep going. Thank you, Aman. Venkat says, could you make a video comparing different technologies used for microservices? For example, alternatives for Eureka service edition. Sure, definitely I can do, Venkat. If you had seen the video on Micrometer, it is something similar to that. Like maybe it's not like a comparison, but yeah, definitely I can do that. What is the alternative for Eureka or something like that? Yeah, definitely. I'll make a note. Design comparison for microservices, design pattern. Like implementation comparison. Okay, what is the next? Can you please make a video? Okay. Possible, can you make Elasticsearch REST high level with Xpack? Okay, let me check that. I'll definitely check that, Ragava. I have never worked with Xpack, but yeah, let me check if it is easy. Microservices using Pivotal Cloud Foundry in trend in Capgemini. Yeah, there are microservices is the trend. If you go for any interview, people are going to ask only about microservices. That's what I hear. That's what I see. Because everybody is trying to move to cloud, right? And people wanted to know whether you know microservices, and they want to hire people who know already microservices. So if you follow lots of my videos in the channel, I make lots of videos on microservices. That is more than enough. And you can try it out in your laptop, right? See, whatever I try, I try it in my laptop only, so I don't spend money on anything extra just to showcase. For example, AWS, I don't buy anything, and then I can't, I am not showing something which you can't do at home, right? I'm trying to do something which is open source, and I want to make sure you also try it out at home, right? That's why I have uploaded all my projects for free in GitHub repository. You can go to GitHub repository and take that code from there, right? So that's the idea. And Pivotal Cloud Foundry, yes, lots of people are using Cloud Foundry these days. Every company is trying to adapt. Different clients are using different cloud vendors, and it is easy to do microservices in Pivotal Cloud Foundry because owns Spring is owned by Pivotal. So yeah, make a video with Spring Boot and Cassandra DB integration. So yeah, one, I think I did one, but I did what is Cassandra, but I didn't do Spring Boot with Cassandra. I think it is there in my list. I'm not sure. If not, I will add it. I think it's not there. Let me add it. Can you explain the Terraform videos? Yes, I have not worked on Terraform. I have worked with Jenkins pipeline. I have done lots of videos on that. Let me see if Terraform is easy for me to learn. Right, Morley? Vinayak is hi, Vinayak. Any possibility of making videos on IoT? IoT is like a booming thing, right? I don't know. I have not worked on it, so I don't think I will be making videos anytime soon. So if at all I work on it, I will definitely make. Suraj says, I saw some contents related to J unit testing in your channel, but it would be better if you could make some videos related to TD. Yeah, TDD, there is a video, Suraj. You can take a look at that. If you just type TDD, I have shown what is TDD, how to do TDD, red green refactor. Take a look at this particular video. If you search for TDD, you can get a video on what is TDD. Venu says, so each and every Spring Boot videos, it's really useful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Venu. Among says Kotlin has gotten official support from Spring. Is Java relevant anymore? After using Kotlin and Scala, I feel Java is verbose. Your thoughts? Yeah, I also feel the same. The only thing is, yeah, wherever I work, I don't use Kotlin, so I have had to stick to Java. I also like Kotlin. I liked Kotlin. I use Groovy a lot because I have been working with Groovy for a long time. I used to write test cases in Groovy. Now with Jenkins pipeline, we can write Groovy syntaxes in the Jenkins pipeline. So I like Groovy a lot because of the way the language was designed. With Java 8 streams, I started moving towards streams because most of the Lambda stuff which were there in Groovy, provided by Groovy, was in Java as well. But Kotlin seems much simpler than Java, as you said, and Java has become verbose. But with the new Java releases, right, Java 10, Java 11, and the future releases, Java is trying to adapt to those stuff. So I don't think Java will be like gone because all these languages are running on the JVM, which is the underlying platform for the Java as well. So I don't see any time Java dying soon, right? When I joined my first project, people were saying I joined a project, so people are saying this project will be done in 2 years. This project was supposed to be closed. Why are you just joining this project? But still, the project is going on even after like almost 8 9 years, right? So it happens. It's like that. Can you explain about security in microservices, how to apply security in microservices? So I would say if you have multiple microservices, this is why I said microservices is a pain, because every microservice needs to be secured, and you will have to have a central authentication server and authorization server in order to secure your microservice. So that's another pain. right? So you will, every time you do a hop, network hop, you will have to validate whether your token is valid or not. So those are all additional stuff which you have to do. So in every microservice, you will have to add the security by having a central authentication or authorization server. Example, you can also use the um, public ones like Google Auth or Facebook login. Gaurav says agree to some extent, but mostly things are controlled and clients are decision makers. So share inputs or best approaches one should focus before implementation. Yes, most of the time, yes. The best approach I would say is write simple code, right? The code should be explainable, right? See, when I used to start, I used to write shitty code, right? I don't like say that I write very good code. Even now it's like we do pair programming. I learn lots of stuff from people. I share stuff, I get to learn stuff. So it's just a learning thing, right? From what I saw, you need to write simple code. You don't have to write comments in the code. Your code should be like readable, right? If let's say you have you are going to do some processing, right? You can just make the class name as, like, for example, method name as processor, or like let's say you're doing a sorting, you can just say sorting. Don't say sort from this to that, because when you design a method saying sorting from this to that, your argument is going to be the object of type whatever you are providing as input, and the return type is going to be of the object type which you are going to get as a return, as an output, right? So you don't have to mention saying sort from products to this or something like that, right? So make it simple. That's what I would say. It should be like easily understandable if somebody else is looking at your code, because most of the time what we do is we scold people, right? When you look at a class which is like a legacy class, you always scold saying who the hell wrote this class, right? So I try to make sure that whatever I write, people don't come and like blame the developer, right? So that's what I would suggest you as well. Hi, I am unable to find where to use design patterns. I am very confusing in design application. Kindly suggest how to proceed in design application. Yes, so how to I would say start off with a flow diagram or a class diagram or something which you are comfortable with, right? Before writing into the classes, right? People talk about TDD and stuff like that. I don't think everyone is doing TDD, right? Just like writing a class and then test class and then starting off with the main class. I would say just start off with a design. Just put a design or a flow diagram with which you will be able to come up with a rough idea what you could do, because that itself will show you whether you can easily navigate across or how complex your application is going to be or your implementation is going to be, right? Start off with that, then try to implement each and every class. And when you see at a high level, that's when you get a idea of what design pattern can be used or where you can improve your system. So that's what I would say. Videos on solid principles would be great, sir. Yeah, there are lots of videos on solid principles, Suraj. In the, if you go to YouTube, right, if you search for solid principles, there are lots of people who have made solid principles. That's why I'm not doing it, right? Venkat says thank you for considering my request. Yeah, my pleasure, Venkat. Motivational videos. Hey dude, is it better to switch from developer role to systems analyst? What is the role of systems analyst? Systems analyst, I don't know, every company nowadays comes up with these new terms, right? If you go to some company, they will say senior manager, but it could be an associate role in other companies, or a senior developer role, right? I don't know if what people consider as systems analyst. It will be the same. That's what I would say. It's like developer role. um, it's the same. There are lots of service based companies which do use the systems analyst role. That way they don't say that you are going to develop only the software. You are going to analyze, do stuff, gather requirements, everything, right? So it's just specific to companies, so there is nothing specific or um, as an industry standard and people follow that. Everybody has their own naming convention. Thanks for making awesome videos. Happy Guru Purnima. Please consider making video on elk show. Dinesh, thank you very much. Elk, I think I made a video on what is elk. The problem with elk was I was not able to create a elk instance and show in my laptop, right? So that is why I couldn't make and show. But I just mentioned what is elk. It is something like Splunk, but yeah. Babatundi says some of your videos were mute. Why was that? Is it? I don't think I had any videos on mute. Is it so? If you see any videos, let me know. I can check and see what happened there. I don't think any video was on mute. So please make video about social login. Yes, definitely, Ahmed. That's a bigger chunk. I have to learn Angular 5. I have to learn Spring security with the OAuth like Google or Facebook or something. But yeah. Raju says, what is Docker? If you want to know what is Docker, you can check out my video on Docker. If you search for Docker in the channel, you can see. Let's see this, take a look at this video. Let's talk containers with Docker. So you should be able to easily understand from that. Okay. Raghava says, I'm using GraphQL in the server side, but no idea how to send requests from Angular 4. Possible, can you make one video how to use GraphQL in Angular 4? Okay. I made one with GraphQL with Spring Boot, but you wanted a UI part, right? So you can see how I frame the request from the Postman, right? I think you can use a similar fashion in Angular 4, right? You can just create a what do you call a sender or an interceptor which will send the request back to the GraphQL server. So you can create your JSON, or it's not like a JSON, it's like a graph query language, right? So you can create that and then keep it in your Angular or a TypeScript file. Naresh says, "What about future of Java developers? Like we will be there, dude. There is nothing like Java will be gone or something. Yeah, machine learning is just coming in, but I don't think like it will be gone. For example, I'll tell you, right. When I joined, everyone was telling about cloud. So even my final year project, which I did in like 2009 or something, I did on cloud. But the industry is adapting just now, right? Even now, I see lots of people working on legacy. Even in fact, I have also like worked on legacy, and everybody's trying to move to cloud. So it's been like 10 years, and still now people are trying to figure out how to move. So I don't think, and Java, I don't think anybody is talking about decommissioning Java or something, right? So you don't worry about that. It's going to be there. Arun Shankar, thanks for adding in your lecture. Arun, thank you. My pleasure. Please build a JWE application having UI and backend, say JSF Hibernate. Frankly, I am not ready to learn JSF and J2W application because I feel it is all outdated. I started learning Angular, so I don't want to go back to JSF and J2W application, right? Need some Kafka real-time projects. Real-time projects, if nobody will give you real-time projects because there are there is a dotted line which everybody signs, right? Even if you are working on a company, you will definitely sign saying I will not leak everything outside, right? So I don't think you can I can show you real-time projects of Kafka, but I can give some examples by creating some use cases or something, and then we can see. I have I have created a I have a concept of that. Where is that? For example, I have yeah, I have a idea to create a messaging app. So we'll see how we can use Kafka for that, right? I'll show you later. What's the pay scale for Java developers in India? There is no direct pay scale, dude. Every company pays on their own, right? If you go, there are lots of discriminations and stuff like that. So let's not talk about that here. Antonio says some example on continuous delivery, like deploying and running artifacts. Yeah, I wanted to do it. The problem was I had an account in Cloud Foundry, but the problem was it's expired now, and I cannot use. I had two mobile numbers. I have used both the mobile numbers now. I exhausted both the accounts. Right now, I'm not able to create a new account. We'll see. I don't know. If you guys have any free account, do let me know and give me so that I can make a video on continuous deployment, right? So I can try it out definitely. Will AWS certificate help anywhere? Yes, AWS certificate definitely will help morely. If you are interested in working on AWS, yes. And if you are going to work on a company where they have AWS, then it is definitely going to help you. Hi Sharon, your thoughts on UML generator? How exactly do we communicate architecture to fellow non-developers apart from bunch of boxes? Yes, so that's a very good question, right? I've never seen people asking about how do I communicate designs, right? But yeah, sometimes you will have to do that. For example, when you are in a cross-regional team, right? Sometimes the architects or maybe your peers don't understand what you are trying to convey. Right. So in that case, you will just put a bunch of boxes, as you mentioned, right? Like saying, okay, data comes here, it goes there, comes here, goes there. That's what we do. I would say do whatever you want, but people should understand. But when you go in depth, right? For example, let's say you are going to show you timeline based or a sequence based flow, then I would say use the specific type of UML diagram. For example, you want to show a sequence, you can use a sequence diagram instead of doing a flow diagram. You can use a sequence diagram, say with a component, and you can show that. If you want to show in-depth implementation details, you can go for class diagram or component based design, right? So it's specific to how or what kind of what do you call thought process you have and what you want to share with your team members. So in there was a subject called object oriented programming, object oriented analysis and design, right? Most of the time people, our staff used to draw diagrams only, right, in college. Now when I see that, we do the same, right? When you want to share something with a peer or somebody, right? So we do the same thing, saying class diagrams is that. Now you realize the importance of those, right? Okay, what are the most design patterns among languages like JS? What are the most useful design patterns? Is it Java? JavaScript, I don't think I have used any design patterns. Java has a different way, Python has a different way. Each language has their own design patterns, right? I would say most of the thing which is common is like the singleton, right? Everybody, if I ask somebody in an interview, what design pattern you have used, the safest option people say is the singleton, right? Yeah. Anil Kumar says very nice tutorials. Thanks for that. I'm a Spring Boot Kafka integration with Kafka integration. Yep. Thank you, Anil. Yeah, Spring Boot with Kafka. There is one video. There are two videos, right? One with publishing the producer part and the consumer part. But I have not made with Spring integration as such. But I did with Spring Boot and Kafka. Nowadays, Pivotal, whatever, pair programming TDD way of working is getting adopted. So, what is your view on how effective it is? Yeah, we do that. I've been doing those for the past 2 years, and it is good in some sense if you are ready to take up or learn stuff, right? Some people I've seen like they don't care, they wanted to work as an individual contributor and they don't believe in pair programming. Sometimes it is required, I would say. Whenever you want to learn something, or whenever you feel you're not competent enough and you want to learn something from the other guy, then you can go for pair programming. Or when you're stuck in some issue or something, you can have uh, another pair of eyes. So definitely, that is a good thing. TDD, I don't think everyone is doing TDD. That is my view. Because everybody's just writing a class and then writing a test case. That is not TDD. You write a test case and then you start writing the class. That is TDD. So I would say nobody is doing TDD. If you go and see Ken Brent, right, who is the creator of TDD, he has been telling TDD is dead, right? So, but I don't think people are doing TDD. People do write test cases just for the sake of code coverage, right? That's what I see. Even I do the same, right? I like, that's what we do most of the time, right? You get your Jira assigned and then you need to complete it in a day or two. So what do you do, like, and your design is like already done, so you don't have to write your test case and then start as a TDD. You just go ahead and write a class and then write a test for it. Supan says, what is the difference between play and spring framework? I know coding style is different. I don't know, I have not worked on play framework. I can check it, Supan, and maybe we can see. I can make a video or comparison stuff on that. Uncle Bob, James Gosling, Venkat Subramaniam, thoughts on these great men and Agile Manifesto. Yes, so whenever I see Martin Fowler, I think about ThoughtWorks. So ThoughtWorks as a company is very great. Uncle Bob. If you want to learn lots of microservices based stuff, you can go to Martin Fowler because he has lots of design patterns and ideologies about microservices. Uncle Bob, he provides lots of clean code series and stuff like that. I felt most of his videos were like boring because it was too much. He talks about physics and stuff. Right. James Gosling, I have not seen much of his videos. He was a creator of Java, but he is now working for a company and he's working on robotics or AI something, I guess. Venkat Subramaniam, obviously, he is a legend now because he makes lots of videos on Java and Kotlin as well. So if I want to see a video, I would go for Venkat Subramaniam. And I recently met him like last year when he was in India for a conference. So I had seen him. He's amazing. And Agile Manifesto. So yeah, Agile Manifestos, everybody has their own. Like these guys are like the champions, right? They go and see, talk to different clients. So I would say some things you can adapt. Some things might work, some things might not work in your team. So it's up to us. Naresh Kumar is saying which mic you're using. I have used lots of different mics. Initially, when you see my videos, there won't be any mic. Then I used Boat headset. Now I'm using Jabra mic headset. So these days, all companies are mainly concentrating on DS and algorithms in the interview. Can you please how to make this area strong, and what about the design problems, how to learn? Yeah, design problems, the problem is you will have to get experience. We cannot like leverage with just 3 4 years of experience. You cannot do design discussions. Sometime back, if you had asked me about designs, I wouldn't have known, right? The more and more you talk with your architect, the more and more you talk or collaborate with people, that's when you get to know different designs, right? And DS and algorithm, I would say not everybody is concerned about DS and algorithm, because if you go for a company like Amazon, they ask data structures and algorithm, right? So their standard is always like that. But if you go for some other banking firm, they won't expect you to do DS and algorithm, right? Because lots of companies use frameworks like Spring or other abstraction frameworks, right? Where we don't use algorithms. You don't require algorithms to be used, or data structures to some extent. Data structures is required because that's the basic. Right from my college, right, I've seen we have always struggled with data structures because that's the way, um, right? So every program you write involves your data structure, so that is like a basic. Algorithms, it's up to us, it's up to the interviewer. People ask too many difficult questions, but yeah, it's up to the interviewer and the type of work you're going to do. Raju says, which is better, time leaf, yeah, frame, or free marker, yeah, JSP? Okay, I have used Timely, but not extensively. Free marker also I have seen, um, but I'm not sure. I can't tell that answer, dude. I'm not used both as like an extensive usage. I've not used it much. Thanks for taking my question. One last question. It's more of a personal question. How much time do personally spend on making these short, crisp, and to the point videos, recording software and mic and all? Yeah, it takes a lot of time, dude. It's like not that easy. Sometimes, see, for example, like these many videos are there. What I do is these many videos I'm trying already, right? I try. Sometimes I try. For example, today I am trying Neo4j videos. If you see, my Docker is running here, right? I was trying to set up Neo4j, and I was trying a Spring Boot application with Neo4j. It takes sometimes 1 hour to try out the program first because I want to create a you see, right? I just create a end-to-end video. I don't just say short videos. I don't take short videos like this is what it is. I just make a complete video where you can just learn a single stuff, right? So what I do is I first try out locally, so it takes like 1 hour to 2 hour. Then I try to plan, okay, this is what I'm going to talk, this is what I'm going to do. If sometimes I forget stuff, like there might be too many stuff, right? Sometimes, right, I try to memorize, or I try to note it down somewhere, and then I try, when I talk, I just see it from there and then tell, right? So and then it takes another 1 hour to record sometimes, and then editing takes another 1 hour. So it's like 3 to 4 hours minimum it takes. Then I have to create my thumbnail, I have to think about it, then uploading it takes a while. So it's like 4 hours and on average. What kind of tool you are using for work or time management to track your ideas or progress? So this is the tool which I use. Trello is the tool for tracking my backlog. As a part of, see, initially I used to just go to random websites and learn, but once I started this channel, I learned lots of things than whatever I was I thought I would learn. So I just created this backlog, like it's like a Spring dashboard, but it is public, like you guys can also see it, right? I just shared the link above some time ago. You can check in the chat history, right, for this particular link. So this is how I track and then I learn stuff. So whenever I hear a new term, immediately I go to Google and search for it, and I get to know. And if I feel that I want to learn more, then I try programs on it. Tanushka says, do you have any idea about Jakarta DE compared to Spring based framework? I have not used Jakarta DE, Java. It's basically the Java EE, right? I have used JSP servlets and stuff like that. Um, it is aligned with Spring to some extent, but I have not extensively worked on JSP based applications. I've mostly worked on core Java based applications for backend processing, but then later on I moved to microservices and Angular based stuff. Do you have thoughts of making Spring AOP videos? Yeah, definitely I'll do that, Suraj. I know what is Spring AOP and how it works, but yeah, definitely I'll try making. Is IntelliJ free like Eclipse? Yes, IntelliJ has two versions, Community and the Ultimate Edition. I use the Community Edition in my laptop, and IntelliJ version at the Ultimate version at office. Raghava says, yes, Ajay, I learned GraphQL because of your video. Thanks a lot. Yep, my pleasure. After that, I have a lot of interested in you. That's why I didn't. Okay, cool, good man. See, that is what I wanted, right? If you are interested in something, try it out and then experiment that. That's when you learn, right? Like Raghava did. He saw that it is good and then he tried it and then now he's trying to create. He implemented it, right? That's how you will get to know or learn stuff. Govindraj says, please make Angular videos. Angular videos, yeah, there are other good people who make Angular or UI based videos. I am a backend Java developer. I learned Angular, but that doesn't mean that I'm a pro in Angular, right? So, and Angular is now in TypeScript, so I need to learn TypeScript. Wish you happy Guru Purma. Yeah, wish you the same, buddy. Sharan says, yeah, good old OAD, thanks. Yeah, again. Osama says, hi, Osama. What is HP Ignisium? What is the use of it? I am not sure. Let me Google. This is what I do when I hear a new thing. I just query and see what is it. I don't know, dude. Maybe it's a product. That's what I see. Core insurance. It's an insurance-based product, I think. Mayur, hello, sir. Hi, Mayur. Difference between interceptor and filter. When to use what? Okay. So filter is used in, for example, when you want to do security-based authentication or you want to do additional processing before hitting your application server code. For example, there is a rest endpoint, say hello controller or something. Before hitting that hello controller, you want to set some preset something, right? In that case, you can use filters because the filters flow will be like it just hits the server, it goes to the filters, and then it goes to the um, main code where you have your logic. Interceptors are useful when you want to interrupt a flow and then do something, right? Wherever you do something, interceptors are used. For example, if let's say I'm adding an interceptor in the UI code where I'm saying whenever you hit this particular URL, do this. So irrespective of my flow, right, whether it is coming in or going out, it will go there. So those are the difference between the interceptors and filters. Spring uses the concept of filter, but if let's say you are using it in Angular or something, you can we call it interceptors. Why authorization protocol RFC are so complicated? Example, why any simpler token based alternative? Your thoughts? Because we always think it is complicated. That's what I feel. Because we always got used to creating frameworks in a much simpler fashion, right? We always were skipping all the security related stuff, right? If you if you see all the security trainings which we get in our office, most of the time we skip it because it's very complicated, right? So that is the reason. That's what I feel. Any simpler based token based alternatives? I don't think so. Some companies use their own custom based authentication systems. I feel OAuth is more than enough. Osama says, can you make lesson about Camel? Yeah, sure. And Spring Boot. Yeah, definitely. I'll do Spring integration and Camel. Osama. Ratna Kumar says, hi, Tech Primers. Your videos are so smart and easily understandable. Make a video about blockchain implementation with a sample app. Sure, Ratna. Thank you very much. Blockchain. Yeah, I have not learned. I know blockchain, but I've not used any framework or a library to do blockchain. But yeah, definitely, if I get a chance, I'll do it. Danushka says, anyway, thanks for your efforts, man. Much appreciated. Yep. Thank you very much, Danushka. Appreciate your feedback. Antonio, you might still have access to your free AWS tier. Yeah, I have access to my free AWS. Yeah, the only problem is I don't have time to do it. Right. I started the Neo4j, so I have to complete it. But yeah, I feel that it's a little bit complicated. The documentations are too much. Half my time goes in just reading the documentation and then I just doze off while reading the documentation. RPA and UI path, relative path. I don't know, buddy. Whether Apache Camel DSL is functional programming style. What is the difference between DSL and functional? DSL is domain specific language. Functional programming is also similar, but it's not the same. DSL, if you see, Gradle has its own DSL, right? DSLs are nothing but the way the language works, or you can make it work that way. For example, if you want to perform an operation, let's say setting environment variables, so you can just have an environment and then you can have something like that. If you see in Gradle, it is like that. Those are called as DSL. Functional programming is where you make your code more readable, right? It is almost similar, but I wouldn't say it is the same, right? This is just a programming implementation. DSL is like a what do you call? It's not like an exact implementation, it's like a, what do you call, standard, right? DSL is like a standard. Hari Bhaskar says, why do we need Docker? How it helps us? If you don't want to move to cloud and you want to have your application tested as a whole, so for example, you have your Tomcat based application, okay? But when you deploy to your test environment or a UAT environment, the Tomcat version could be different. And when you go to a production environment, the Tomcat version could be different, right? Most of the time, we solve problems with the underlying infrastructure or the middleware system. So in case of Docker, you can package that also with your package and then just run it. The same image will be, they call it image. Image is like a jar bar kind of thing only. You can use the same image and run it in the UAT, prod, and everywhere, right? So that is the advantage I see with Docker. Spring Boot 2.x Java 11 at any near future rough timeline. Spring Boot 2.x I wanted to learn, but I want to learn finish some new stuff like the Neo 4J, which I want to finish, right? And then I'll start Spring Boot, right? Maybe in a month. Along with that Java 11. First, I need to do Java 9, dude. Then let's go to Java 10, then Java 11. GP Yadav, hi. Ajay, keep your good work. Thank you. Yep, my pleasure, Yadav. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Yep, thank you. Nice videos. Love all those. Thank you very much, Srinivas. Appreciate your feedback. Sachin says, hi, Sachin. Python versus PHP. I would say Python. PHP, yeah, I know PHP. I know little bit of Python. I started learning Python, but I'm not um, doing much there with Python. Right. Osama says, good job, man. Yep, thank you very much, Osama. Ratna says, where are you working? I'll just share my. I had a Bitly link, but you can go to about.me/moving to web. You can get to know about me. Can you upload more videos about Java 9? Sure, Sujit, definitely I'll do. I did some modular videos, I think, right? Those ones were there, but yeah, I'll definitely do some. If you have any examples or if you want any specific topic, let me know, right? Hi, Shahil. Any thoughts about Swift programming? Swift is just a wrapper kind of thing above the Objective C. I've never used Swift, but it is like Android, right, for the iOS. So I've never tried it, Shubham. Cool. I think I almost read everything, right? Yeah. And it's almost like 10:15. I hope I'll stop the video maybe I'll take maybe a couple of questions. If you guys have any questions, just post me. Right. I'll see. After that, we'll stop in some time. I also have to have dinner, dude. So okay. Is Oracle JDK going to be paid? I don't think so. If at all they make it paid, your company will pay it for it, right? So why do we care? Anyway, we are going to work for a company, and then you're going to um, use that, right? Should be okay. Why do we worry about that? And definitely there will be a open JDK version or something which will be useful. So let's use that. Freestyler says, what are some tips to remember to become a good programmer, Java Spring specifically? You need to keep yourself updated, and you should always refactor your code every now and then, because that code is may not be the greatest code now, right? So you should try to go and refactor whenever you require it to be refactored. And especially for Spring, you need to keep yourself updated. You need to go through the documentation, because every now and then Spring changes their documentation. Spring changes, breaks this and that. So you need to keep yourself updated. Any thoughts on Flutter? I don't know, dude. Frankly, I have never looked into Flutter, and I'm not interested right now. I see other YouTubers who talk about Flutter, but I'm not looking into it yet. Sachin says, make a machine learning video in Python. Yeah, I need to learn first machine learning. The problem is machine learning is evolving. I'm just looking at what people are doing. Then we will learn machine learning. It's like the cloud, right? 10 years ago, people were talking about cloud, and it was all new. So machine learning is like that. Let people implement something, and then we'll see real time examples. Because right now, it's all most of the things are all proprietary. I don't see open source stuff in machine learning right now, right? And all the courses you try to attend are all very costly. Nothing is for free, right? Let's see. Hari says, why Java deprecated in Docker, and why OpenJDK? Yeah, so Java, yes, that is, they don't want to because they wanted to provide, as you said, right, like they want to make it paid, they want to have enterprise stuff separate, and they want to keep the premium features out of open jdk, and they created an open source version of jdk. So that is the reason. We cannot comment on the decisions taken by oracle and their team, so we can just leverage those, right? Who are we to talk about those? That's what I would say. Yeah, if they are decommissioning it, let them decommission. We'll go to a new technology. It's not a big deal. Any videos on Apache Kafka? Yes, there are lots of videos on Apache Kafka, Srini. You can take a look at that. You can go to the channel and then search for Kafka. You should be able to find it. Yep, see that. There are so many. Oh, okay. What are Right, thank you very much. Yeah, Sachin, thank you. Make videos, some videos on CI/CD and deployment stuff. Yeah, Sachin. Yeah, Sahil. I wanted to make, if you guys, if any of you can create a free account for me, I can definitely do it. If you guys are interested, right? If you can create a free account for me in Pivotal Cloud Foundry, do provide me the credentials. I can definitely make a video on showing continuous deployment using Pivotal's Cloud Foundry. Right? Cool. I think I'm done. I hope you guys found it interesting. And if you, let's say, if you have any questions also, right, you don't have to wait for me to make live. I don't make lives very often. I just do an ad hoc live, right? Because my channel is small, so I don't want like to make too much of live sessions and give you lots of gyan. Right? So you can if you have any questions, you can just post them in the comment section, or you can post me via Twitter or Facebook, anywhere, right? So I'll definitely reply for you guys. I know I already reply for most of you, and most of you know about me, right? So, and I have a backlog. If you can check out this backlog, I'll just share this link. You can take a look at it and then see what all videos are going to come. This is my backlog for now, right? These are the videos which I will be making. I have made lots of videos. I have marked them. This is what I manage, right? Cool. I think you found my videos interesting. I hope you got something out of it. If you want me to make videos on any specific topic, do let me know, right? And the major reason why I started this channel, right, I many people ask old technologies to be made, but the major reason I started this channel is, if you see, try a new technology today. So I wanted to learn new technologies, and I wanted you also to learn new technology. That is the major reason I started this. It may be helpful in your current day-to-day work, it may not be helpful in your current day-to-day work, but it is going to definitely help you in the future. That's what my ideology is, right? So that's why I started this channel. I hope it's helpful for everyone, right? Yeah, it's going to become very big channel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not having any goal or anything. It's just like an hobby which I just started last year in Feb, right? It's just going on. So let's see how long we can go, or how far we can go. Right, right now I'm free, so I'm making videos and I am finding time for myself, right? So let's see how long it goes. Cool. Keep making useful videos for us. Sure, Sahil, definitely I'll continue. Whenever I could, I'm trying already, right? Cool. That's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this live session. Meet you again in another live session, or meet you again in another video, right? If you feel my videos are useful, you can share it with your friends. That's what I would say. That's what I can say. If you feel people want to know something, you can just share it. It's for free only. I'm not asking you any money, or I'm not going to give you any Patreon account or anything. You can definitely take a look at it, right? Cool. That's it from my end, guys. Have a great weekend. I don't want to spoil your weekend. That's why I didn't make on a weekend. Enjoy your weekend, right? I'll post some videos maybe next week. Most probably, I will not post on the weekend, right? So that's it, guys. See you again. Okay, so hope you focus on all the time on Spring and Java. Yeah, sure, Osama. Sujit says, Ajay, your tech shorts videos are very useful. Not only tech shorts, all videos. Please upload more videos. Waiting from Kerala. Sure, Sujit. Good to know. Thank you very much. Thank you, Venkat. Good night, guys. I'm a favorite channel after Telesco. Yep, sure. Yeah, I also follow Telesco. Naveen Reddy's channel. Good night, guys. We'll see. Meet you again in the next live session. Then I don't skip ads also. Streamers, it's up to you, dude. Cool. Thank you very much, guys. Good night, Sujit. Good night. Who else said good night? Venkat. Good night, Hari. Good night, Sahil. Good night, Osama. Who else is there? Who is there? Good night, guys. Meet you again in the next video. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.